Welcome back to yet another map video where we take a look at the best maps I found and created. So let's get started. This first map shows us how many years an area has been ruled by the Roman Empire. Isn't it crazy? Athens has been under the control of the Roman Empire more than Rome itself. I know you might be a bit confused, but the reason for this is the Eastern Roman Empire. It lasted around 1,000 years more than the Western Roman Empire. And as well, the Romans stayed in England longer than the United States has been a country. How crazy is that? Here's a map showing the overview of the slave trade out of Africa from the 16th to 20th century. I just learned that there were also people taken from Eastern Africa to India as slaves. As of 2024, there are still small settlements of African Indians known as cities. But listen up, slavery wasn't just during these years, it has always been with humanity. Throughout history. I'm making this video and you watching this video without no problems. We're both lucky. But now more onto the bright side. This is the Taylor Swift's airplane travel history in 2023. In only 1 year. Now the reason there are two planes is that one is for Taylor herself and the other one is for important crew members who will travel ahead to organize everything. But now about the negative effects. Her carbon footprint is probably more than everyone watching this video all summed up together. A lot more. And I mean, sure, I don't blame her because that's the way she can hide from every other paparazzi. In the end, I neutralize it by sorting trash in my house. This next one shows us the percentage of Europeans who approve their monarchies. Monarchy means that you don't have a president, you have a king or a queen. As we can see, only Spain disapproves of their monarchy. Other countries seem to be quite happy. Also, I've heard that the only reason why the Dutch love their monarchy is because of the annual parties that erupt throughout the country. Dutch people, is this true? But to make it more interesting, has the popularity of the royals in European monarchies increased or decreased in recent years? Well, it has only increased in Norway and Denmark. What's up, Europe? The worldwide tipping map. This map shows tipping customs at restaurants in different countries around the world. Basically, do you have to leave money to the servant or no? For example, as we can see, in Japan, you get insulted if you leave a tip. And yet, in the United States, it's expected for you to tip around 15 to 20% of the cost of the food. Bruh. Now you tell me, how much do you tip in your country? Or do you even tip? The GDP per capita in every European country. As we can see, well, it shouldn't be surprising, then Eastern Europe is much more poorer than Western European countries. Luxembourg, Ireland and Switzerland are Europe's richest countries. And the poorest is Ukraine at the moment, of course because of the war. While 44,000 is the average European GDP per capita, in Ukraine it's only 6. But you know what, I don't really believe this GDP per capita map. Because according to it, everyone in Ireland must have a Bentley and an English slave by now. Percentage of the population of each Soviet republic that died in World War II. Belarus, I'm sorry, 25% is brutal. That means every fourth person died. How horrible can war be? And you know, the odds of dying were much more worse if you just look at men who were asked to join the army. I'm from Estonia and both of my great-grandpas fought in World War II and they survived to tell me stories about it. Both of them have passed away, but they were the real men. Again, let's move on to the more bright side. This is how the word soda takes over the United States. Americans explain. Do you really say Coke when you want to order Pepsi? I am confused as hell. And I'm being honest, this is the first time I've heard of the word pop. I guess because it's dying out. But yes, Coke and pop are slowly losing their regional variants. And you know what I'm gonna say? It's soda pressing. Mono-ethnic countries of the world. countries where 85% of the population belongs to one ethnicity. In Iceland, I've heard rumors that since their population is so low, they pay foreigners to marry Icelandic people just to avoid an Alabama moment. You never know. And that also explains why my Finnish friends are so wild. It's because of the Alabama moment. Yeah, whatever, this got weird. Let's move on. Well, the stink bug invasion in the United States. As you can see, 20 years ago, there was no stink bugs in the United States, but as of 2024, they are really common across the entire country. Listen up, this little bastard is terrible. I have spent a lot of weeks in the forest of Estonia now that I'm in the military, and the forest is full of them, and they stink terrible. It's their protection reflex, and it's impossible to get the smell out of your clothes. Let's move on. This is how the United Kingdom and Ireland can be seen from space. I know, you might be a bit confused. Why is England so orange? This was taken during one of the hottest heat waves on record in England. It normally doesn't look like a desert. Anyways, these satellite images are amazing. Today I learned that Ireland is much more bigger than I thought, and Scotland seems so small. But I guess it's just about the angle. Another European map, because I know you love them. These are the most visited cities in Europe as of 2023, so last year. Basically, how many people visited these cities in millions? If you think about it, the amount of tourists in Amsterdam is insane, especially if you consider it's about 10 times smaller than the size of London or Paris. As well, I'm actually a bit surprised to see that Barcelona is the second most visited city. It only has a population of 1.5 million, that means they get 20 tourists for every citizen. Recognition of Israel by country. Still, most of the countries in the world recognize Israel. It's mostly the countries nearby that don't. What about your country? Do you recognize Israel or not? Before we continue, this map is a bit outdated since Colombia withdrew relations with Israel and South Africa as well, if I'm right. Yeah, this will start a war in the comments. Here's a map showing the difficulty of life being born in every country of the world. And I love how Australia is considered as Dark Souls of life, probably because of the spiders. As you all know, I'm from Estonia, but I don't consider life in Estonia being the hard mode. It should be normal. If you're still here, comment I love maps and I'll be happy, I guess. Okay, until next time. Bye bye.